Hi, it's Hope and welcome to the vlog. As you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, this is going to be my tmas reading vlog. Tmas is a smutty readathon that I am hosting with my friends Clint from Reed's Reader and Morgan from Morgan's Bookshelves. I'll leave both of their channels linked below. But I figured vlog this readathon because I haven't vlogged in a while, and I mean, it's my readathon, I probably should vlog it. So far it's about 12:30 on the 2nd. This readathon is from the 2nd through the 4th. So this is just going to be like a quick 72-hour vlog. But as I just said, it's about 12:30 and I haven't read anything. I've been just kind of doing a few things here and there throughout the house. I need to do a little bit of schoolwork here before I actually start reading, because I have a feeling once I start reading for the weekend, nothing else is going to be good, nothing else is going to be done productive. So I kind of want to get a little bit done so that I can actually say today was productive. So yeah, I have no idea what I'm reading. I have a list of let me just quickly count. I think I have 29 or 30 books just on a list on a Google Doc of just here are possible books to read this weekend. Obviously, I am not getting all of those done. My goal is, I kind of want to say my goal is 6 a day, but in reality, my goal is 3 books, 1 per day. Although I do know that that is probably going to be more, because a lot of these are novellas, so they're 100, 150 pages or less. There's probably only a handful that are actually full-length novels, and even then I can read 1 in a day. So yeah, this will just be kind of I'll pop in and be hey, I started this, and then probably by the time I finish it, I'll be so I finished this, I gave it this, here's my thoughts. Moving on. So there are 7 prompts. I'm just quickly gonna say them. I at the end will say what books I read for which prompts. I'm not necessarily 100% sticking to the prompt. I'm just kind of reading what I want and shoving them in. So prompt number 1 is Merry Clitmas, read a holiday smut book. Prompt number 2, Deck the Balls, an MM romance. Prompt number 3, Tits for Christmas, a female-female romance. Prompt number 4, Ho Ho Ho, read a Wide Shoes romance. Prompt number 5, Dick in a Box, read a host recommendation. Prompt number 6, Self-Pleasure, buy something for yourself. I bought 2 books. I went ahead and bought Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas and Blood Marked by Tracy Dion. Those will be arriving sometime next week because I bought them online, so I did that prompt. I'm already counting the readathon as completed. And then finally, prompt number 7, Sluts for Sprints, participate in reading sprints. There's sprints all weekend, so obviously that will be completed. My goal is to probably do at least 2 reading prompts, although knowing me, I will find a way to do all of them. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I will let you know when I actually start reading something. So it's 6:17 and book 1 has been completed. I finished All I Want for Christmas Is Them by Adora Crooks. This is a MMF holiday novella. Basically we follow Naomi and Otto, and they've been together for about 6 months. It's the holiday season coming up, and so they end up going to this concert together as just for something to do near Christmas, and Otto's friend Diego also joins them. They're both okay with this, and then they all end up going back to Naomi's apartment. Fun stuff happens, and then the next morning Otto ends up passing out because of his kidneys failing. He has had kidney issues his entire life, and his current kidney isn't gonna hold up. So it's that. This is the 3rd book in the Truth or Dare series. I read the first 2 in November, and so the first 2 books in this series are kind of about Otto's parents. So it definitely was interesting of being it was definitely interesting seeing of oh, here's where you ended up, here's where your parents currently are, because of obviously reading 2 books about his parents. But I gave it 3.5 stars. It was good. I feel like there was, like, it wasn't amazing, it wasn't bad, it was just like kind of like fun, and like it was pretty good. 3.5 stars. There definitely was a seed that made me very much be like, oh dear lord. We'll just say wireless vibrator and at the concert. That was definitely interesting to read. But like overall it was a decent read. So yeah, 1 book down, and it fits for the read a holiday smut book because it takes place around Christmas and New Year's. So yeah, at least 1 prompt completed. Now to figure out what I'm going to read next. Like, these are literally like the kind of little updates you're gonna get. And so now I'm like looking at and so now I'm like, I need to figure out what to read next. Okay, so it's now after midnight and I'm filming this literally in bed because my phone is basically dead and needs to stay on the charger. But I ended up starting Gifting Me to His Best Friend by Katie Robert. I can't remember how much into this I'm in. I'm listening to the audiobook of this, and this is a reread for me. But this basically, we follow Emma and Grayson, who are married, and they every year go on vacation with Derek, who is Grayson's best friend. And Emma and Grayson end up having this idea of what if they gift Emma to Derek for like Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, because it is clear that Derek is attracted to Emma and Emma is clearly attracted to Derek, and it becomes this like, I think it's like 36-hour whirlwind of just sex. It's a MMF romance, and I really enjoyed it when I read it last year, so I figured let's reread it for Clipmas, and I don't know how much into it I should have looked at that, but I will definitely have it finished tomorrow. But as I said, it's after midnight, so I'm going to go to bed. I didn't get as much reading done as I wanted to, but that was because after Morgan's sprints, a lot of us just ended up hanging out like backstage on StreamYard, having a bunch of fun. And so yeah, I could have read more, but also the experiences of hanging out with friends is kind of honestly what I was most looking forward to for Clipmas, and day 1 I definitely had that. But there's still 2 more days, so a lot more reading will be gotten done. So it's about 5 o'clock on Saturday, and a few hours ago I finished Gifting Me to His Best Friend. I'm giving it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was a reread for me, so I knew I was gonna enjoy it. But I will say, listening to that thing on audiobook, oh dear lord, but best decision ever. I just love the characters, I love the dynamic, I love the smut. The smut is really good. So yeah, I don't really have much to say about the book besides, as I said, really good smut, really good characters. Even though it's so short, there's still so much emotion and plot. The plot is the smut, but it's the book where the smut is the plot, so the plot's good, I guess. And then I will actually be jumping in straight into a different Katie Robert book, which is Queen Takes Rose, which is the 6th book, the 6th and final book in the Wicked Villain series. All I know is that this is a like Sleeping Beauty retelling with Aurora, and instead of Maleficent, the other female's name is Malone, who's kind of meant to be that Maleficent kind of character. And that's all I know. I'm excited to be finishing a series. That'll mean the 2nd series that I finished this weekend, because All I Want for Christmas is Them by Adora Crooks was the final book in a series, or at least to my knowledge. So it's good to be finishing a series, especially one that I started at the beginning of this year, and I'll be ending it now, so I'll be starting that, but I will update you later on how I like Queen Takes Rose. So yeah. So it's the third day of Clipmas, or December 4th, and I just want to crawl back into bed. I'm tired. But last night I finished Queen Takes Rose, and I'm giving it 3.5. While I liked it, I didn't really connect with the characters, so I just didn't like it as much as I wanted to, because I didn't connect with the characters. I almost didn't understand their like romance of like how they fell in love, but like it was a decent read. Otherwise, as I've kind of already explained, it's kind of a Sleeping Beauty retelling, and you definitely see those elements. It's definitely smutty, and yeah, I don't really think I have any huge thoughts on it besides it was good. It was nice to finish up a series. Technically there's a like book of short stories that are like about various characters in this series. I don't know if I'm gonna read that. Knowing me, I probably will, but I'm not counting that to like the series. So, but yeah, still it's good to have a series finished. It only took me a year to read the entire series, but it is one series that I did really want finished by the end of the year, so I'm glad that I was able to finish it, and I honestly probably wouldn't have without Clipmas. I'm trying to think of anything else about that book if I feel like they need to talk about it, but I don't really think there is. And then I ended up reading Melt for Us by Molly Doyle. This is a Christmas erotic novella where we follow Quinn and 3 guys, and they just have a like Christmas together and then New Year's. This is the kind of like the sequel to Scream for Us, which is about Quinn and these 3 guys on Halloween. And in definitely for both of these books, check trigger warnings, and Melt for Us was very dark. I think I'm giving it 4 stars because while it was good, I feel like, okay, with Scream for Us, I feel like with the smut especially, it was quality over quantity. I would rather have quality smut than a lot of smut, and then the smut that's in the book is of quality and not just for the sake of having a smutty scene. In Melt for Us, I felt like it was very much quantity over quality, of like the scenes were really quick, barely any detail, almost just of like smut for the sake of smut and not smut because it was needed. And then there was a few scenes, there was like a scene with a knife, that it took me, like, that entire scene itself, I was already like, okay, this, like, it's not good, not bad, and then a knife gets involved, and I'm like, I've read multiple other books that have knife play in it, but this, I was like, okay, this might not be the scene to do it in, especially with all of the emotions and all of the just the content of the scene. I feel like I was just kind of like, okay, this is already intense and you just made it 100 times more intense without needing it to be. But I will be reading the like, there's a book that takes, like, a full-length novel that takes place in between Scream for Us and Melt for Us, which kind of explains what happens in between, like, Halloween and Christmas, basically. So I will be reading that probably sometime in December, just like on my own time. I'm tired because I stayed up till like 2 a.m. finishing Melt for Us. I don't regret it, but 4 stars, that's kind of pushing it, but I'm like, it's because I already have attachments to the characters from book 1 that made Melt for Us just a little bit better, because I'm like, oh, remembering that dynamic, that where it started and knowing where it ends is kind of nice. So yeah, but I have no idea what I'm gonna read later. I think the only prompts that I have to fill is Deck the Balls, which is romance, and then Dick in a Box, read a host recommendation. So I will probably have to take a look at Clint's recommendations to see what he did, because I totally forgot what he put on his list. And it's now 9 o'clock and I finished a book. I've been horrible at vlogging this, but I started and finished Him by Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy, and I fucking loved it. I gave it 5 stars. This we follow Jamie and Wes, and they used to be friends from around the age of 13 through 18 when they went to this like hockey summer camp, and they were best friends at this summer camp. And then when they were 18, something happened at the summer camp and they haven't spoken in 4 years. Jamie has no idea why, and Wes feels guilty that he caused that drift. And then now they are seniors in college. Their hockey teams are going against each other in a championship. And then the two of them end up going back to this summer camp that they went to as teens to coach for the summer, and we go from there. And I really loved this. So Clint, if you're watching, thank you for this recommendation. I loved it. I just love their dynamic of how they very much joke with each other. There's that lightheartedness with their joking with each other, especially of how it was difficult if they weren't friends for the last 4 years, but they're able to slide back into that friendship pretty quickly, and almost act as the last 4 years of them not talking never happened. There also is the whole theme of Jamie figuring out his sexuality, because Wes is like not openly gay of like everybody knows, but like he doesn't shy away. Like if you ask, he's gonna tell. And then Jamie is like, at the beginning of the book, he's seemingly straight, and then has that thing of wait a damn second, maybe I'm not. And so it was good to see him like realize that, and also of it not just being the trope of, oh, I'm gay for you, but more of like, oh, because of this I've realized that I am bi and I am okay with that. And so that was very good to read, and the way it happened felt very natural. It never felt forced. It was very easy to read. The smut was pretty good. And yeah, I don't really think I have any more to talk about, except I honestly might immediately jump into book 2 because book 2 is on Scribd. So I just immediately love the characters, and especially where we end off is a good point, but I'm like, but there's a sequel and I want more of them. I want the domestic shit. And I feel like that's kind of what book 2 is gonna be, is just them being very fucking domestic, and I'm here for it. But of just like, when I say I love a couple, I want the domestic shit. Brief spoilers for the ending of this, so as long as the book is on the screen, expect spoilers. So I love how they move in together at the end. They move to Toronto, of all places, for Wes's hockey career, because he ends up joining the Toronto hockey team, which is the Toronto Maple Leafs, but they don't name drop the team. Probably for legal reasons, but I'm like, a hockey team that I know for once. My dad loves that team. That's an entire side rant. But I love how they move in together, and there's the domestic things of like hearing them going shopping for things, of them just being domestic, and I'm like, I kind of hope that's what book 2 is. And when in doubt, when I love a couple, I'm like, I want the domestic shit of them moving in together and picking out the wall colors, the couches, the like what goddamn fucking plates they're buying. That's the type of stuff I want when I say I want just cutesy fluff. Like, that's what I want. And so I really enjoyed this book. So yeah, let's just go over the prompts and what I read for them, because I did complete every single prompt. So for Merry Clitmas, read a holiday book. I read All I Want for Christmas Is Them by Adora Crooks, Gifting Me to His Best Friend by Katie Robert, and Melt for Us by Molly Doyle. So that's 3 books for that one prompt. Deck the Balls, Romance, Him, obviously. Also, technically, Gifting Me to His Best Friend does have in it, and All I Want for Christmas Is Them also has like stuff, so like kind of can stretch those. Tits for Christmas, female romance, Queen Takes Rose, Ho Ho Ho, Rita Wide Shoes romance, Melt for Us, Dick in a Box, Rita host recommendation. Obviously him. Seriously, thank you, Clint, for recommending that book. And then Self Pleasure, Buy Yourself Something, I bought books. And then Sluts for Sprints, participate in sprints. I participated in 3 sets of sprints this weekend, so I'm gonna call this a fairly successful weekend. I did only read 5 books, but keep in mind him was like 300 and some pages, so that was pretty long. And then also I might start the sequel to him, which is Us. So like I'm counting this weekend as a success. I think in total I can actually check on my spreadsheet, I read 1,098 pages, so over 1,000 pages in 72 hours. That is a win in my book. And the only thing is, this vlog kind of sucked because I kept on forgetting to vlog. But still, this was just a fun way to document what I read and just kind of my first ever readathon I'm hosting. Well, co-hosting, but like, you get what I mean. I'm so excited about this, and I am so excited what is going to happen for round 2 of these smutty readathons that is happening in February. Keep an eye out for the announcement of that in about mid-January. So I really hope you enjoyed this vlog. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!